Pia, that's where I need to sit, ma'am. That's where I need to go, Missy. Can I sit there, please? Please? Well, that's really bright. Okay. Are we doing this together? We are, I think. Hi. So it's been, a while, like a year and a half. Nothing major has happened. I didn't, like, get a dog or, like, go to Italy or Mexico or get a different job or like, anything. Actually, no, that's not true. I like coffee now. I'm gonna start us off with a tag because I'm actually pretty unpracticed in making YouTube videos, so I thought the structure of a tag would be good. I'm gonna share some of the books that I've read this year. It's kind of been a flop reading year, but the last month has really kicked into overdrive, and I think that's really what inspired me to pick this back up. So we're gonna get into that. I've got the questions and the answers and the books, so let's just get into it. So I got this book tag from a place that I will link below. I watched this one girl, I think her name's Destiny Sitwell do it. She had different questions, but I could not watch the YouTube video and type it out, so I just took these ones from online, and they're honestly kind of easier. So the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Now, something about me is I do always have books ongoing, but this December I've just been closing out books. It's like I have sales quotas or something. Also, Pia loves to smell books, and I just picked this one up yesterday. But so I'm going to share some DNFs that I DNF'd this year that I would like to pick back up potentially before the end of the year or next year, probably next year. Fahrenheit 451 has received dust from me personally, which is really disrespectful because it's a classic and timely. Anyways, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury is a dystopian novel about a society where they burn books and ban books. So we're moving past that. I tried to pick this up February time, and it was like really heady, so I was taking my time with it and writing down quotes in my commonplace journal, which is something I'm trying to do, and I just like could not get started. And then I picked up the audiobook on Hoopla. The narrator for the audiobook was just doing way too much, and I just could not get behind it. So I'm going to take the time with this book that it deserves, hopefully this winter. Next Girly is another book I DNF'd. I want to say it was this year, but it potentially could have been last year. I think it was last year. But I just bought this at a used bookstore, so don't love that you were looking at so vigorously, PP. But this is Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I think it was an audiobook that I listened to at first, and I was like, respectfully, what the hell is going on? I don't think I can listen to audiobooks of books that are confusing and like abstract. It needs to be a bit more straightforward, like a romance or a memoir. So I think that was my fault. I would like to give this another go because I've heard only awesome things about this, and I'm really in my fantasy bag right now, which you will see by the books that I have in this pile. But I'm excited for this. Honestly, know nothing about it except that it's about a night circus that appears without warning, and it makes no sense. So love that. The next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Now, I'm filming this maybe a little bit later than you're typically supposed to, and it's also like just fully winter in Canada. Like some of our highways are closed because of snow, and people were stuck on the highway for 30 hours. Spooky. So it's actually not fall anymore. It's also meteorologically winter. So we're using this as a winter prompt instead. The first book that I've put off like for so long, and I wanted to read it this fall and I didn't get to it, but I think will still give winter vibes, is Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. I also always want to call it Daphne by du Maurier, so this is a struggle for me personally, but this is a classic book. It's a gothic horror kind of book about a woman who marries a man and he's got a spooky life, and we never learn the woman's name. These are the things I know about the book. But I've been wanting to read it for a long time. I read a lot of classics written by females. What am I? Do I have a podcast? By women. And this is kind of a gap in that. So that's why I want to get to this. The other book that I want to read that will get me into the winter spirit is The Wood at Midwinter by Susanna Clarke. I do not have it because I have it on hold, but I'm next on the list, and that's exciting. But I do have the prequel, not the prequel, but the first book that's connected to Midwinter in The Wood at Midwinter, not me forgetting the name of the book. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is a book I have not read, but I do own. because I love Pure Essay. So I saw this at a used bookstore and I picked it up. It's a thickums, so I'm a bit spooked, and the font is small. So I'm saving this potentially for next year, maybe next fall, next winter. I don't know. But yeah, the book I actually want to read that's related to the prompt, The Wood at Midwinter, is winter. Honestly didn't read a synopsis of it. I just googled Christmas books yesterday and it popped up, and I like Susanna Clark, and it's 63 pages. So yeah, I'm gonna read it. Start the booze. I'm also gonna probably reread A Court of Frost and Starlight. I've been reading some fantasy lately that has been like making me think of ACOTAR, and I don't want to get into a full reread right now, but this is a perfect little winter moment. When I first read it, I hated it, but you know what? Sometimes you just need a little bit of a winter, we're all sad kind of experience, and that's what this is going to give me. The next question is there a book that you think could still shock you and become your favorite of the year? And the answer is yes, because I haven't read any 5 stars this year, so I'm still waiting for that. Yeah, I could have, okay. I could potentially, yes, I could have a 5-star read, and these two are good options. So One Dark Window, the first book in the duology of this book, is, I don't know if she's gonna move, I loved it. It was a 4.75 read, and I'm hoping that Two Twisted Crowns could kind of come through and be as good. I am 75% of the way through, and so far that is not the case because I miss Raven and Elspeth. I'm hoping that there's still 25% of this book. It could still come through. I'm excited. This other book that I'm currently reading is Blue Sisters by Coco Millar. This could be a 5-star because I really enjoyed Frankenstein and Cleopatra, and I still think about it and the environment that it was in and the way that she told the story. So I'm excited for this one. This is more of an exploration of sisterhood and adulthood, and I've been really into girlhood this year, and you know, kind of just growing up as a woman and all of that it entails. I'm 26, turning 27. I feel like this is the time when I need to start overthinking everything about myself. So this is a perfect fit. So either of those books could surprise me and be 5 stars, but who knows? The next question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? One that I have on hold from the library and I should get soon is For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. And I'm reading that because it's apparently giving One Dark Window, and I want to keep this train going. So I have that on hold and I'm excited for it. I don't know much about it except it's a similar like gothic fairy tale fantasy kind of experience. So I'm looking forward to that. Hi, this is editing Megan here. I had to cut out my second book in this video filming session because it was just nonsensical completely. But the other book I want to read before the end of the year is The Starling House. So do with that what you will. We're gonna head into the 3rd book now. The last book that I'm looking to read before the end of the year is just a Kristen Hanna book. I'm not really particular about which one. She has a Christmas book that I think I potentially put on hold. I have this one from my grandma, Night Road. I think it's about teen death by car. So obviously a low. And then also The Women. I haven't read The Women, and I have a credit for an audiobook, so I was thinking potentially I should do that because I've been bullied by several people about not reading that book. But Kristen Hanna, I really enjoy her work. It's just like so severely sad that it kind of ruins my experience. So I'm just gonna kind of wait until I'm in an emotionally stable state to read any of those books. But that hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. And the last question is a fun one. Have you already started making reading plans for 2025? Yes, I already have my plans for 2025. I'm excited. I usually head into the end of the year really stressed out about reaching my reading goal, but this year I set it like half of what it was last year, so I feel good. I have like a little stretch goal in my mind that I would like to reach, which does require me to read 11 books this month, but I'm kind of low-key on track, so that's exciting. Yeah, I'm just really excited about reading again, hence the YouTube, hence the pile of book. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to 2025, and I've got some books that I would like to read. I would like to defeat this monster. I've had this for 2.5 years now. Crescent City, Sarah J Maas. I have never touched this series. I've only read ACOTAR, and I'm never reading Throne of Glass. For my friends that tell me to read Throne of Glass, I'm not going to do it. Okay, so stop asking, but I will read this book. Will I read the second one? I don't know, probably not. I don't know. But I would like to read this next year. I feel like Sarah J. Maas is like a perfect winter fantasy experience. Not perfect. It is a winter fantasy experience that I enjoy, okay? So I want to read this book and I don't want to hear about it, okay? That's it. Also, a goal of mine for 2025 is to read more classics. So this year, I kind of just let the spirit lead me where I wanted to go, which led me to a lot of audiobooks, a lot of memoirs, and a lot of Agatha Christie. So I'm trying to like repivot what I'm reading and use more of a critical eye. So with that, I want to read more classics. And the first one that I want to read, other than Rebecca, is Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre. Another woman book, woman name. Crazy. It's really confusing. But I've had this copy for a while. I think it's so pretty. I would just like to read it. I have several other classics. This is a classic shelf that I've never read. I love buying classics. I don't necessarily love reading classics. So I would like to go through those and read some more. I also recently had a guest here who went through the classic shelf and was like, dude, have you read this? Have you read this? Have you read this? And I said, no, I haven't read any of those books. And it was kind of a little embarrassing because I bought these books with no intention of reading them. So I want to put a dent in that next year. I was watching an Amy Poehler interview where she said she reads like 1 every 10 books is a classic. So I think I'm going to adapt that philosophy. I like that. So maybe 1 in every 10 books, a classic. And I'm going to start with Jane Eyre. And then also, very excitingly, I have started a book club with my friends for 2025. Our first book is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I've already read that book. It was my suggestion. It wasn't a suggestion. I kind of strong-armed the club and took everybody's votes and like made an idea based on what people like. So the first book, yes, is one that I picked and forced others to read, but we will be employing democracy soon. Better than ever. I'm heading into 2025 rejuvenated in life and feeling good sometimes. And I think that's all you can ask for. So yeah, that was my end of the year book tag. It's been a really interesting year in reading for me. In terms of interesting, I mean not great. And I think that will result in a really fun top 10 worst books video for you all, which I will film, she says, after not having filmed a video for a year and a half. But yeah, anyways, I am hoping that this starts me off like actually making videos again, because I actually really enjoy it. I enjoy editing. I have my editing software again. That was the main reason why I stopped, was the fact that I didn't have a subscription to Adobe, but now I got a discount and I feel good about it. So yeah, I am very thankful for you watching this whole video. Thankful that people are potentially watching a video that is coming out a year and a half since my last post. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to 2025. This is part of my resolution, so I'm getting a kickstart on it. And yeah, thank you for watching, and subscribe because you never know when a new video is coming. It's a mystery.